Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of the Philadelphia Wealth Project podcast.
Wow.
Did you
episode 6?
It's episode 6
That was
already.
really good, yeah. I don't know about the end or like the podcast, but maybe.
I'm trying something out. Sometimes you try it out, it doesn't work. Sometimes it works.
I like it. Let's just roll with it.
Yeah, today I think we should talk about, the point of this thing is it's local.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think we should talk about the different areas in the Philadelphia suburbs that people invest.
Yes, that is a great idea.
I had it.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, investing in the Philly suburbs. So we are in Westchester, Pennsylvania, which is in Chester County, Pennsylvania, and it's a fantastic place to invest. There's also many other suburbs that are fantastic places to invest that are right outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah, and I always break it down for people. I think we should talk about investing in the city a little bit and why we don't.
Okay.
And then also, basically the counties, right? You've got Montgomery County, Chester County, Delaware County, and then Newcastle County, which is northern Delaware,
right? Which
I kind of consider the Philadelphia suburbs, even though Wilmington is its own city with its own sort of suburb,
right?
But we still.
And there's Bucks County too. So Bucks County is literally right next to Philadelphia, but that is not somewhere that we really specialize in.
Yeah, we're really over in those other 4 counties on the western, southern part of Philadelphia is where we really focus and what we really know.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. So I think that we're getting the Philadelphia Wealth Project kicked off, by the way. That's starting, December 10th?
December 10th?
It's going to be a 4-hour event. I'm going to talk.
Who are you?
Oh, my name's Rob Lawrence.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm a real estate agent, real estate investor, and I run the Rob Lawrence team here at Vanguard Realty Alliance, LLC.
Excellent.
Who are you again?
I am Shawn Connors, managing broker, co-owner of Vanguard Realty Alliance, an investor right here in Chester County, as well as the Poconos, which is not a suburb of Philly.
Nah, too far.
Nope, too far.
Too far away.
Yep.
So, I think what we want to talk about today is a lot of the areas that investors love and where you can invest and how people are making money in different spots.
Okay.
I guess that's what I'm kind of thinking about.
Yeah, that's a great topic to discuss because there are certain parts of the suburbs that are better for cash flow, certain parts that will be better for flips where you can make more of a spread.
Yeah.
And then there's better parts for appreciation. There's parts that won't really appreciate well, but again, the cash flow is really good. So we'll cover all that today.
Yeah, and I think there's also locations where multifamilies are more prevalent than singles, or there's more singles everywhere, but where there's more multifamilies, and then also different price points.
Oh yeah,
because we've got a house for every budget here, and
we sure do. We got the 60,000, maybe even 30 in Chester, and then we got the multi-million-dollar farms and estates, and it's pretty crazy.
Can I get some Section 8 up in here?
It's crazy. I don't know what it's like in other parts of the United States, but within 20, 25 miles, right? If you went from Chester to Gladwin, how many miles is that? It's probably less than 20, right?
Yeah, probably.
You're literally going from a place where you can buy a $30,000 house to a $30 million estate.
Wow.
Within 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah,
that's wild.
It is pretty wild. It's really a very diverse place. And I think when people are getting started in investing, they're like, where do I invest? It's such a common question that I get. So let me just start out with you, Shawn. Where are you investing and why?
I invest currently in Downingtown and Westchester.
Cool.
Why I do so is because I live in Downingtown and own a business in Westchester. I love this area. Now, it's harder to find deals in this area, right? Because Chester County is the wealthiest county in the entire state. So home values in both the places that I really like to be are much higher.
Right.
So it's a little bit harder to find those deals that are going to cash flow unless you are finding them off market and solving a real problem for someone. There are still rundown properties in Downingtown that you could probably get for, I know for a fact, we call it Little Jefferson. You can get a house for $120,000, but if you get 4 or 5 inches of rain, it's coming into the first floor.
Oh.
Yeah. But you can buy a house for 125, 150 grand.
Just need to
you just need flood insurance.
You just need to raise it up a little bit with some jacks or something.
You jack it up. You can try, but yeah, but that's the thing. And then, at the same time, we have multi-million dollar compounds and things like that. But that's where I like to invest. I'll go realistically, I'll probably go within a 45 minute radius of where I live. What about you?
So I have a property in Aston, and it wasn't necessarily where I picked. It was just an opportunity that really presented itself to me, and I was like, okay, I'm doing it. But I knew Aston and I knew Brookhaven and those areas, and I like those areas. And then we've seen our friend Paul Bradley flip a bunch of houses in Brookhaven area. Successfully, and it's kind of like Delaware County, but it's right on the border of Chester, but it's definitely not Chester. It's definitely a lot nicer. And then I have an offer out right now, actually, on a house in Westchester.
Ooh, what's that? Three offers in as many weeks?
Yeah, I've been firing off. Been getting a little rowdy.
Nice.
I don't know that I'm gonna get this one, but I took a shot at it. We'll see what happens. I mean, who knows?
You never know.
Yeah. I threw out a pretty good shot. I mean, I went over asking, but it's I did it sight unseen, but I know what the house is. So I like Westchester as a potential. I mean, I think the frustrating thing about trying to invest in Westchester, maybe somewhat Downingtown, is the multifamily is very limited, and the pricing on it is so high, even relative to cash flows. And I'm just I can't. There was a triplex in Westchester that was I don't know, 1.3 million or something like that. And it was
it's sold for one close to that.
Wow. And I looked at the cash flow. And
I know who bought it.
I know who bought it too.
But the cash flow there's no way. Right?
I know. But you know what? I mean, who knows? I mean, the guy might make out well. It's just
I think he may be living in one.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. But from a pure investment standpoint, you're right. From a pure investment standpoint, with the multifamilies, it is definitely harder to cash flow.
Yeah, especially in Westchester. There's so much money in Westchester, so many investors, so many savvy people with real estate. There's some really successful real estate companies, especially ones that are holding student rentals,
right?
Which is a whole thing. That it is somewhat difficult to compete in that space. But I think from my perspective, you can do a single family that's distressed, fix it up, kind of burr it, and then rent it out and get a decent rent. And kind of cash flow a little bit, maybe you're cash flowing between $500 to $800 a month, maybe on a, I don't know, $400,000 house, something like that.
That would be great.
Yeah, I think you can definitely do that. Because you can maybe get $4,200 on a rent in a nice house in Westchester. I think it's not out of the question. So I kind of like that sweet spot with Westchester and somewhat Downingtown, though I know you can. I think Downingtown's a little bit less intense.
Yeah,
I would say
so too. And you can definitely, in the borough of Downingtown, you can get a more affordable house. Yeah. And the rents are pretty dang good in the borough.
Yeah. I mean,
even outside too. Anywhere in Downingtown School District, the rents are pretty good.
Yeah, Downingtown's a great school district. Westchester's a great school district. I have a lot of accolades and wins.
That's what I look for in investing too.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things where I'm thinking about where I want to invest. There's so many different investment strategies. There's so many different people that don't necessarily invest close to them. They'll do out-of-state investing, Sunbelt states and Southwest and places like that. But I personally want to be close, besides the Poconos, right? Because you can drive. Yeah, I know, but I can drive there, so it's not too far. But for a long-term investment, for a long-term rental, I'm looking in the good school districts. That's one of my primary targets of places in Chester County or in Delaware County or even Montgomery County.
Yeah, it's interesting. And, just talking about when you go into a really high end area, what I've noticed is the rents aren't even that great sometimes in some of these places, I don't know, Gladwin or Wayne, right? The rents are not outrageous, but sometimes these the prices that the houses sell for are really
crazy.
High.
Yeah.
I
wonder what you could rent one of those $5 million estates for.
$1 million a month.
Wow. 20% rule, huh?
I don't know. I mean, it's like the rents kind of top out at a certain point, right? Like it just becomes.
They definitely do.
It just becomes ridiculous. Like after you're talking $5,000 a month,
right,
or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, why is this person not buying something?
Yeah.
Like most people with that much money are going to tend to buy, I would say. So like that's one thing I notice is like when you look at a rental, you're trying to stay more towards the bottom of the curve in terms of the area.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be the most expensive house in the neighborhood, right? As far as rent. I don't think you're really going to make out too well if like you're buying it with if everything else around you is renting for $3,000 and you're coming in like, oh, I'm going to put $150,000 into it and try and rent it for $4,000.
Might not just the demand isn't there at that price point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So these are, what we're talking about are the more, I would say, probably affluent areas with higher rents, and people generally median income is generally much higher than other areas. So what are some good areas in your opinion to invest for cash flow?
I think I like Wilmington. I think Wilmington's the number one on cash flow in terms of like purchase price on a multifamily versus like I helped a guy buy with like a 12% cap rate. $1,000 cash flow on a $184 purchase.
Yeah, that's pretty killer.
Whew. Yeah, nice. I mean, real nice. And I mean, I know our broker Steve's been investing there quite a bit, and there's just opportunity there in terms of there's low taxes. That's not taken away from your cash flow, and the prices are relatively low. Now you have to watch area, but maybe you don't have to watch area. I mean, it's just kind of up to you, but the cash flow, I think, in Wilmington seems to be the strongest cash flow that I have seen in the Philly suburbs. The problem, like, when you move into, like, we talk about a 1% rule or a 2% rule. You familiar with that, Shawn?
I think so.
I've
heard of it before.
Yeah, it's like 1% of the purchase price. Right. Like
for rent.
If it's $300,000, then the rent should be like $3,000. If it's $200,000, the rent should be $2,000.
Right.
Now you might start into the
You might be able to get that in Wilmington, but that would be very difficult to get around here.
Yeah, I mean, in Wilmington, like that $184 purchase was getting $2,400, so that was like 1.5 almost. percent.
That's great.
Which is great. Yeah, 2% used to be more common, I would say, especially in like Chester or like Darby or places like that. But even now, like that seems to be tougher. I think things are just a bit tighter. Like people are more aware with their investments and stuff like that. But yeah, that 1% rule is kind of that thing I'm usually shooting for and looking for in the cash flow. Now, when you get in a place like Drexel Hill, for example, in Chester County or in Delaware County, the taxes kill you.
They're absurd.
Oh my God. I don't know who's running the tax thing there, but
I don't know. The last house I sold there, the price was $250 and the taxes were $11,000 a year.
That is unbelievable.
And that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah. Like, and
it's crazy, right?
For example, that triplex in Wilmington, that was $184. Like taxes were $2,200.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My mom owns a house at the beach in Bowers Beach, and the taxes are like $1,800, and she owns the beach.
Really?
Delaware taxes are phenomenal.
Yeah, Delaware is definitely a place to consider investing. On the Pennsylvania side of things, I think Coatesville is good for cash flow.
Yeah.
That's in Chester County. Norristown will be good for cash flow in Montgomery County. And then if you're looking in Delaware County, it's probably, Upper Darby.
Yeah, Eastern
Darby.
Delaware County.
Yeah.
As you get like closer to the city, it gets a little bit more cash flowy.
More cash flowy.
Is that a word?
Yes, that's definitely a word. Yeah, I like that.
And you got Pottstown. We can't forget about Pottstown.
Oh yeah, for Pottstown, that's Montgomery. Pottstown is mainly Montgomery County, but it's
kind of right on the border there, right?
Well, Pottstown Borough, I believe, is Montgomery County, and then the surrounding parts of Pottstown are generally Chester County.
Got you.
O&J schools.
Got you. Yeah, so it's like right there. But yeah, Pottstown's a really popular place for investors to go. Again, you got a tax situation there where the taxes are relatively high, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the homes are pretty affordable. We have an agent, Anthony, and he probably has close to 10 units there now.
Dude,
and
Go Anthony. Good for you, bro.
He's awesome. He does really well. He really likes Pottstown, and it's a good market, you know?
Yeah, and has a lot of potential.
It does.
For improvement and rising prices, appreciation.
Yes.
They're really dumping a lot of money into it. Same thing with Coatesville, right? They're building a train station.
They're doing a lot in Coatesville.
Our buddy's doing the Chris. He's doing
Jumpstart
Coatesville.
Yep.
And then Hannah and Tyrone. They're buying in Pottstown, right?
Yeah, they have a building there. I know they made an offer on a building recently, and Pottstown and Coatesville seem to be two like hotbed areas for redevelopment and for increasing cash flow, which is really nice. Now, Norristown on the other end, I don't know too much about it. I have worked with investors who own properties there. I sold a couple of properties there. It was a few years ago. They did well.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what it's like now. I have looked at home prices there, and they haven't increased much, so you can still probably get a pretty good deal.
Yeah, there's some really affordable housing in Norristown. I have not spent much time there either. I've had some investors, talk about it or this or that, but I've never done a deal over there. I've toured a lot of houses in Pottstown, never pulled the trigger with a client on one. Mm-hmm. I've done deals in Coatesville, several multifamilies, singles, and stuff like that. We got Shawn Phillips, our mortgage guy. He's
got 2 there now.
He's got 2 there. Yeah, and he's doing a live and flip in Thorndale, which is technically Coatesville School District, but
right.
So we see a lot of people over there moving into that, and it's like cash flow is nice,
right?
And it's also awesome to watch like Vince again, like doing a flip over on the main line, Narberth, making like $400,000 on
exactly,
one flip.
And that's the difference between investment strategies. Like if you're looking to buy and hold, like. Yes, you can get a decent one in a better school district. It's just a little bit tougher, There's a lot. People have a lot more equity in their house, so they're not always under some kind of distress to want to sell quickly. But then you can flip properties. You can get pretty decent flip opportunities where you can make 50, 100, 150, 200, 400 on the main line. I mean, this is real.
Yeah, it is.
This is real life. People are really doing this.
I know. It's kind of crazy. Like when I first got into real estate and seeing like, you see the numbers on TV and you're like, man, my salary is $70,000 a year.
Right.
And you see someone make $70,000 on one project and you're like, this doesn't seem fair. You know what I mean? Like this doesn't even seem like it should be real. Right. But it's like we just talked to two podcasts ago about your commercial building where you're making over 200, probably like 400.
Closer. Yeah.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Right. One deal.
And that's in Westchester.
Westchester,
in a place where people are like, I can't find a deal,
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of that. And look, it is not easy.
No,
especially if you're not an expert.
It's really not.
But you know what? Actually, I was just on the phone with a cold caller earlier today. I think I'm going to be doing some off-market marketing. And
nice.
I know you're going to get excited about that.
No, find me a deal, man.
Hey, listen, you got to pay the man.
I'll pay him.
Yeah, I mean, there's deals to be had. There's a whole thing around marketing for deals. Mm-hmm. A lot of people do that successfully, and it's not rocket science, but you have to solve other people's problems.
Right.
And it can happen anywhere in the Philadelphia suburbs. The thing I think that's good about the Philadelphia suburbs is that the cap rates make sense. You're at least able to outpace your interest rates, I would say. Like, get an 8% cap rate is not impossible in the Philly suburbs. It's fairly achievable.
Right.
And interest rates, whatever, maybe you borrow them. I actually just saw you could borrow money at 5.625 on a 5-year ARM for an investor. So
really?
Yeah, the ARMs are really becoming way more popular right now because of the spread.
I'm hearing a lot about buy downs as well.
Yes. I believe our friend Shawn is working on a video on buy downs.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, I got to learn these things. I think right now in this interest rate environment, the better. I was thinking the other day, it's like, man, if I could get money at 1%, like every deal makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, but obviously that's an exaggeration, but it's like when you can do the financial strategies to get those better interest rates and get better financing on the same deals that other people are looking at, you may be able to see an opportunity.
I wish I would have knew about that because there was one that came up in Downingtown. I scheduled a showing for it. It was listed at $250.
Yeah.
Needed a lot of work. You could probably get it to appraise depending on the amount of work for 4.
Okay.
And then I was thinking,
$1.50 spread. What do you think you need in work?
Probably 80, 85,
pretty good.
maybe closer to 100. But even if you have $50,000 in equity, it's not like I'm trying to cash out and sell it. I want to keep it for a rental, and I'm okay with leaving some money in it.
Yeah, you'd be able to pull out most of your money.
When I put in 6.5% interest, the payment was like $2,100, even with 20% down.
Wow.
At $400.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can only rent it for $2,200.
At $250, you're saying, right?
No, so the ARV was 4.
Oh, like if you were refinancing out or whatever?
Yes, refinancing,
Got you. Yeah, I mean, the ARMs are really attractive right now. There's more and more ARMs. People weren't using them at all when the interest rates were super low.
I got ARMs.
Dude, nice ARMs. Have you been...
I've been arming.
Yeah, you've been arming at the gym?
I never skip arm day.
Nah, dude, every day's arm day.
But no, arms are good.
Yeah, I mean, adjustable rate mortgage. It's like... People are like, it's so risky. I'm like, well, what's the risk? I mean, you're going to definitely pay a higher interest rate for the next 5 years, or maybe to adjust in 5 years up to about where it is now, right?
I truly don't think it's that risky.
I don't either. The interest rates will be back down, and okay, don't sue me, please. But I think the interest rates
will go back down.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, especially if you're in a 10-year ARM and you can save like 1%, 1.5%, like that's going to make stuff work. I think also I want to talk about investing in Philly suburbs, you can get decent returns. There's a good renter pool. There's always high demand for rentals. There's
always.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's important to think about too. Like this area is very, especially, Chester County, Delaware County, Montgomery County, people want to live here.
I like living here.
I love living here.
I love Westchester. It's like one of the
I came
best
from
places
Philly
in the
and
country,
I love living here. It's amazing to me.
So you don't want to go back to the Northeast?
No, I will not. It's very in demand here.
Yeah,
this is a place, especially that's why I look at better school districts.
Yeah,
because those better school districts, people are always going to want to live there. It's almost like we're in this bubble. Yes, high interest rates affect us, inflation affects us. But the values of homes just keep going up, Well,
I think a lot more people are discovering this area. And I mean, Chester County and it's got rolling hills and wooded areas and parks and great schools. And the taxes aren't outrageous when you're looking at let's say New Jersey or something like that.
Or New York,
Or New York, right? And there's good jobs. And
there's great business around here.
Yeah, exactly. And you're 2 hours from the beach, you've got a big city nearby. You can go do anything you want really. And it's relatively a good value.
Right.
That has, and people talk about that Philadelphia is one of the cheapest cities, if you're looking at Boston, New York, Washington, DC, on the East Coast. Baltimore I think is cheaper.
Could be.
I think it is, but yeah, whatever.
They're cities. So
yeah.
They come with city problems.
Yeah, city.
Right?
Yeah, and that's what too. So people talk about, well, Philadelphia, why aren't you investing in Philadelphia? And it's that place just scares me. You know what I mean? I get scared over there. I'm just over there. I'm is somebody gonna kill me? I got this friend who's a cop, and he's showing me such crazy things that he's dealing with over there, just shootouts in the middle of the day, and people are nuts.
Yeah, people are crazy. People are crazy everywhere.
That's true.
Right?
I'm crazy.
I just say with Philly, with big city comes big city problems.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I don't invest there. Not that I think everywhere in the city is bad.
Right.
But for me, it's big cities bring big city problems. I don't want to deal with that. I feel very comfortable investing where I live, close to where I live, and where I really know,
Yeah, the downsides I hear about Philadelphia, right? And there's a ton of opportunity in Philadelphia. I mean, there's flips hitting the market every second in Philadelphia.
All the time.
There's so many houses. And there's more multifamily. There's just, there's a ton of stuff. And I mean, in the good areas, stuff is very expensive actually. But like, I believe if you have a tenant who stops paying,
they can stay.
Yeah, and they decide they want to stay, the city on their behalf will hire a lawyer for them so they can fight you.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Squatters or tenants that go past their lease, tenants that stop paying you can stay. I've literally heard some crazy shit with people staying like 4 years, 5 years. I actually heard of a guy staying somewhere, he stopped paying the mortgage. This was in Coatesville.
Yeah.
6 years.
Wow.
He lived there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But Philly's like, yeah, you can do that and get away with it.
Rich O'Neill, friend of ours, he was talking about how there's like a lead paint requirement. And like if you can't get a rental permit unless you get a lead paint certification. And the tenants sometimes will refuse to let the people in to do the lead paint certification, and then say, like, they'll kind of like use it as a justification not pay rent because you're not taking care of the place, but they'll refuse to let the inspector in.
I believe it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of workarounds, and that's what I'm saying with big cities or big city problems. Not that this can't happen anywhere,
right? It
just happens more prevalently in Philly.
Yeah, I know, and it's frustrating because I feel like the city has so much opportunity. I always hear getting permits, like if you got to do work, is brutal.
Yeah.
From what I've just heard from a lot of people.
Yeah, dealing with L&I and all the different inspectors and permits and things. Yeah, I mean, I've sold a decent amount of properties in Philly. I've sold a decent amount of flips in the city, and just working with those sellers, I know it's a pain in the ass.
I got to sell a flip in beautiful Kensington, and I think people cut the lockbox off and stole the tools. While they were flipping it.
Yep.
Kensington's a little bit got its issues.
Yeah, it's just something to think about if you want. Not that investing in the city is bad.
No,
it's not what we. It's just like not. Yeah,
it's not what we do.
Right, it's not what we do, but there are a ton of people who do it, and they do really well.
And they make a lot of money. Yeah, it's just a lot of money. I think it's a different thing.
Yeah, you just got to find an area where you feel comfortable investing. Right. Same thing with out here in the counties. You have to find areas where you feel comfortable investing.
Yeah, because the truth is you can really make money anywhere.
Right.
You can make money anywhere. I was talking to a guy who back in the day, he was buying houses at auction in Chester for like $5,000.
Wow.
Now they're worth $60,000, $70,000, but
yeah.
Still a great return.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's different areas in Chester, like around the Widener campus, for example.
Right.
Where there's nice areas. So it's like, knowing that, having that local knowledge is so important.
Right.
And I think that's what's good about this podcast is like, we're going to be bringing on like local investors talking about where they're investing and why. So you're going to see more and more of that content. So make sure to subscribe to this podcast to educate yourself on the Philly suburbs.
Absolutely.
Because this podcast is not like a national one. It's really about being local.
Yeah.
And dealing with our local issues, local townships, weird stuff that's going on, development in this area, and making sure people have local knowledge because real estate investing is local.
Very local.
Yeah. It's revitalizing our own communities, creating commercial spaces, creating residential spaces. We could be building apartment buildings before we know it, Shawn.
I wouldn't put it by us.
I think we could do it.
I think we can do it too. Just to round out this episode then, can you just share a little bit about our kickoff event? Because we didn't really get a chance to touch on it.
Oh, yeah. I'll talk about that. I mean, the kickoff event I think is going to be awesome, actually.
Yes. It's going to be very exciting.
It's going to be awesome, even though I'm planning it. I'm going to make it so much fun. I like when I do an event, like I want to bring the heat. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to just sit there like, I'm falling asleep. You know what I mean? Like,
so are we going to play Pin as Hell on the Donkey?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not.
Water balloon fun? Paintball fun?
Paintball, yeah.
What kind of fun are we doing?
If you don't have a property, we're gonna shoot your
snowball fight fun?
Paintball gun. This is welcome to Philly, bitch. Well, one, it's free to attend, right? The only requirement to attend this is that you have the desire in your heart to build wealth through real estate.
Okay.
And financial freedom. That's what this event is about. This is what we're doing is about. That's what the Philadelphia Wealth Project is about, is freeing people.
Freedom.
Yeah,
William
exactly.
Miles.
Like that. So we're going to be, so I think we're going to basically kick it off with, we're trying to build $100 million in net worth for the people that participate in this program. $100 million.
In 5 years.
In 5 years. And this is so achievable.
Or less.
Or less. We might do it in less.
Yeah.
It's a race to the finish. I mean, hey, if we make more money faster, not a problem.
The only way we can help people do that is if we have a starting point, right? And that's what this kickoff event is. It's the starting point of this.
So like net worth. All right. A lot of people don't even think about it. But what we're going to be doing with this event is we're going to start off with, where are you at? What's your net worth? Okay. And then we're gonna anonymize it, so like people don't know whose is what's. We'll give you like a number or something. That number's gonna correlate to your name, but like we'll say, okay, number bop is at this point, and he's going here, and we're gonna have check-ins.
Love it.
You know, like every quarter or so. So you recalculate your net worth every quarter, see how you've progressed, and we can see how much wealth the project is producing. Mm-hmm. And then we're gonna have Steve Seymour talking on strategy, investment strategy. Talking about that because guys flipped like 150
I know that guy.
houses. Yeah, I mean, he's flipped like 150 houses. He's got, I don't know how many doors, over 40 doors, I think. You know, he's got short-term rental, long-term rental. Super experienced, and you know, he's taught me so much, and it's just like great to have him there to share with people like how you build wealth in real estate.
Right.
Really, and really, there's kind of one solid strategy, in my opinion. I don't know if I should say it, though.
Don't.
I think we'll leave it for the event.
Leave it for the event. Keep them in suspense so they come.
One time I had Steve talk on a particular investing concept, and he's like, Rob, I hate that concept. I was like, well, just talk on it anyway. Like, you know, like, can you just talk on it? And he talked on it, and he's like, and everyone's like, why does he hate the topic he talked on? And everyone like yelled at me. And I was like, dude, that's Steve for you. He's keeping it real, man.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was funny. But you know, that's Steve. It's like, but that's cool. I mean, he's going to talk about strategy, how to really build wealth through real estate.
Awesome.
We've got Ed Fordyce who's going to talk.
Eddie.
Yeah, he's the man. I mean, that guy.
He is the man.
You know, he could motivate even me. So, you know, he's going to be talking and about just like finding your why, you know, understanding why are you doing this? What's your purpose in building wealth and financial freedom, and thinking about what's holding you back personally. I think,
right.
You know, what do we need to work out in the kinks in our system to help us move forward?
Love it.
And then I think you're going to talk.
Oh man, maybe.
Yeah. And
I'm in.
Yeah. You're in?
I'm in.
Okay. I'm not paying you anything.
Really?
You're not getting paid. Neither
Food?
am I. You can have a bag of chips.
A bag
of chips.
Got it. All right.
On the house.
I'm okay with the bag of chips.
So, but I think when we have you talk on is making a real plan.
I love planning.
I know you do.
I love it.
Look at him. He's lighting up like a Christmas tree when I say the word plan.
Plan, arms.
I got a plan. My name's Shawn. So Shawn, yeah, because you know what? That's the other thing, right? You can say, okay, where am I at now? What's the strategy we're going to use? How am I going to get motivated to do this? Like, how am I going to get over my own BS, which was about the last podcast was about. Right. And then let's put some steps in place. Like, this is my next step.
Reality. Let's make it actionable. Let's make it so we can follow the plan to get to where we want to go.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It could be like, hey, this year I'm going to do a house hack. Then next year I'm going to do buy another multifamily, and then the following year I'm going to do 2 flips and a rental, and whatever it is.
What's
like
the plan?
What's your plan? What's your strategy? How are you going to save money? Are you budgeting? Do you need to get your financial house in order?
Love it.
Yeah, I think you're going to be awesome at that.
I will.
And I think when people leave with, here's where I'm at right now, here's the strategy, here's the motivation, and here's an actionable plan, my God, are we going to build $100 million in wealth? We are going to do this.
We might do it shorter than 5 years.
Yeah, and and the thing is too, it's like we have the business, we have the title business, the mortgage business, we have, the sales business all around helping people buy these properties and doing all this. So it's like, And you don't have to use us. This is not like you can be a realtor at another brokerage.
Absolutely. You can be anyone who's looking to build wealth in real estate. I don't care where you come from.
Yeah, you can be rich.
This is for everyone.
Exactly. You can already have a ton of investments and you just want to grow your portfolio or you want to expand into being bigger. And this is us working together as a group.
Right.
Right. It's not like I'm saving everybody or you're saving everybody. We're all saving each other. Exactly. We're all working to help. I would say that it's kind of like an art collaborative, except not everybody's broke. You know what I mean?
I like it. We're a collaborative.
I love it. Yeah, exactly. So we're all going to come together at this event and I mean, invite people you love and care about that have this desire. Now that's the other thing, okay? If you don't want to be wealthy and you want to complain and you don't want to build wealth and you don't care about your wealth or whatever.
This is not the event for you.
This is not going to be the event for you. You're going to be like, this guy Rob's super freaking annoying and like I don't like him.
So I'm assuming you're emceeing it.
Yeah. I need to get some DJ tables and some one of those mouse
Well,
heads.
an MC is different than a DJ, right? For the most part.
I guess. There's going to be snacks too.
All right, snacks. I'm in. That's all I need here.
Cheese sticks.
Cheese sticks.
My kids love those. I don't know what's going to be there. There's going to be pretzels. So whatever.
Super
you won't
exciting.
starve. There'll be bottles of water and stuff, and we'll have a great time.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
will.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll have a lot of fun. And I think it's going to start like this just group of people that are all supporting each other and building wealth together. And my God, is it going to catapult everyone forward? Because I know what it's done for us already, just being a part of this brokerage, right? And just being in this environment. And we're taking this environment out to people that aren't just agents. We're taking it out to the people.
To the people.
Take it, power to the people.
Power to the people. That's what we want to do. Empower people.
Yeah, exactly. We're empowering people instead of saying, oh, this person needs this handout or that handout. It's like there's no handouts.
Nope.
But there's no cost either.
No cost.
It's just like getting together.
Bring yourself, bring your desire, and let's make some money.
Bringing that fire.
Make some wealth.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, this was a great episode. Look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Yeah.
And
hey, if you got something you want to see in the next episode, put it down in the comments below. We love ideas. We're gonna again start interviewing more people in the community, people investing.
Yeah, once we get set up in our new podcast studio, we have 3-4 mics.
We need another microphone is the problem, and Shawn and I will not give up ours.
But it's gonna be great. And if you want to contact us or stuff, contact information will be.
Yeah, if you want to invest in real estate in the Philadelphia suburbs, we are doing it every day, helping people do that all the time. We just had a 19-year-old buy a place in Darby. 19. 19.
Don't even want to tell you what I was doing at 19.
I don't want to know.
You don't. All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
Later.